All right, cool. I'll try to work on the thumbnail. You're watching it right now? Okay. Oh, you don't hear yourself? Oh, and Mahmood is watching too. What's up, man? We're fixing some audio issues really quick, so but nice to see you in here, man. Nice to see you in here. Macho is not gonna be here, man. He oh man, how do I break this to Mahmood, man? Macho, he's been really lazy, just taking podcasts off, and you know. I say that as Mahmood as Macho's in the chat. This is gonna be fun, man. If nobody can hear you, then I'm just gonna have to I'm just gonna have to wing it. Yeah. Mahmood, I'm just kidding. Yeah, what is going on? Is there like a mute option or something? Yeah, don't don't worry, Mahmood. I was just messing with Macho. But yeah, in terms of topics, we don't nothing too obviously nothing on the scale of goddamn Microsoft purchasing Activision happened this week. So news is definitely a little bit slim this week, but we'll make it work. There's obviously Horizon Forbidden West went gold this week, and then Pokemon Legends released this week, and people are absolutely adoring it. And some new Elden Ring footage released as well on Game Informer. So yeah, we got some things that we could talk about. So yeah, it won't be a completely empty show. It won't be one of those shows where we just have to like bring our own just like random topic to the table like we've done in the past with the like our dream PlayStation All Stars Battle Royale roster or stuff like that. So yeah, we definitely got some things to talk about. It's funny, man. I'm usually the one with audio issues. This is a first, man. It's making me feel good. I'm not the one. I'm not the one who messed up. Let me see if he's messaging me. God, there's nothing better than just like flying around in this game. Like it feels so good. Yeah, it really makes me miss like Prototype or just Infamous in general, man. Like I don't know. I feel like the world. the world the world feels a little bit like hollow without one of these games out in the wild, you know. We need more games like this. Do I even have like any? No. Okay, so I do have this one, so I can go over there. In Chicago, Macho, man, that's gonna be dangerous as hell. Chicago or Detroit sounds dangerous, man. It's gonna be a battlefield every single day. Um, well, you good? If you're talking, I can't hear you. this, this is gonna be fun. Macho, you see what happens when you're not here? Everything is just chaotic, man.
Can you hear me, Jay?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
There we go. There we go. There we go. My voice is live.
All right.
What is going on, Mahmoud and Macho? We're here.
What did you do to fix it?
I just shared my voice. I just shared my voice.
Yeah.
I
See?
went to settings. I I pressed shared voice and it worked. It was so simple. It's always the simple ones.
Yeah. Um, Macho, he's coming in a little bit like staticky or whatever, like a robot. Or is he?
I sound check, man. I sound good.
Oh, you
I
sound good.
sound good.
Okay, yeah.
Yes,
Let's
sir.
let's let's ignore Macho in the chat then, because we know his information can
Yeah.
sometimes be not too reliable. So
Yeah. Credibility is a bit questionable.
exactly. So guys, welcome to the 46th episode of the DualShock and Sense Podcast. I am your host Soul, connoisseur of anime waifus. Joined by only one of my two usual suspects. We got Walt here. What's going on, man?
The usual manga maniac and the usual I mean suspect. I don't know. There's a suspect over there on the chat, Mr. Macho. He's kind of our moderator today. He's busy, but we got this, man. We got some games to talk about. Not much in the news, but a lot about games, actually. It's surprisingly so. I don't know. It felt like a very game forward, more and not, news forward week. I don't know. It was nice. It was a chill week compared to last week's massive just shit show of everyone just speculating and the whole Microsoft thing. So,
Yeah,
excited for this one. We'll keep it
yeah,
short and sweet.
yeah. So the uh King of Kingdom Hearts or whatever it is he says he's not here but the show must go on. So yeah, as Walt sort of alluded to, nothing too earth-shattering in terms of news like last week, but we still got a couple things that we can talk about. So yeah, with that being said, we're gonna start the show just like we with the sort of topic that we always do, and that's the games that we've been playing. I'm going to go first because I really haven't been. I don't know if I'm like in another gaming funk, but like I just haven't really been wanting to play anything recently. So like I haven't touched. I don't think I've touched a game since
Oh,
last week, since our last podcast. But what I've really been doing is I've been reading a little bit more and watching some shows. So I've been watching a little bit of some Archer, a little bit more of that. That's just like a guilty pleasure. Like I love just like chilling and having that like on in the background sometimes or whatever. It's really funny. So yeah, a little bit of Archer, Ozark season 4 part 1. I'm like literally it's weird because I was on episode 7, which is the last episode of this of part 1, literally last night, and I felt myself going to sleep. Well, like I needed to go to sleep for the podcast, and there was like 10 minutes left on the episode, so I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna save. No, it was like 11 minutes, and I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna save these 11 minutes for today. So I just like shut it off.
Damn.
Yeah, so I just like shut it off right like towards the end of this episode. But yeah, season 4 is really really good. Um, and I mean Ozark in general is fantastic. So yeah, uh, wrapping up on that. What else am I watching? I felt like there was something else. Well, I don't know if you plan to watch it or if you've even heard about it, but there's like this new like Korean zombie show with like high school
Um,
students that just came out. Um God,
uh,
the name is
oh
escaping
man,
me.
it sounds familiar. I don't know if it's the same one I'm thinking about, but I think the one I'm thinking about is not zombies, but it's more like aliens. I don't know. I know that the Korean ones that I've seen that
Oh, gotcha.
ca catch
It,
my attention is a Lost in Space. It's something about space, not Lost in Space. It's something in space, and it's like on the moon or like on a colony.
okay.
Um,
The,
yeah, it's
the
with the same actor that did the cop in Squid Game.
okay. The show's called All of Us Are Dead. It just came out on Netflix, and it's been getting like really really good reviews. Like a lot of people. Um,
Mm,
so yeah, I am really, yeah, I haven't started it yet, but yeah, I'm looking forward to binging that probably today. So yeah, that's something I'm really excited to watch.
nice.
Um, Dude, those Korean shows, they don't miss, man. They really don't miss.
Dude,
Um,
they really the quality is and the performances. And going off, not just Squid Game, but the my first introduction into Korean entertainment, I think was Parasite, and Parasite is like one of the best movies I've ever seen. It's so like the characters are so magnetic. They really convince you of what they're doing and their motivations, and it's so good. I can't wait to dive more into Korean uh entertainment media and whatnot.
yeah, after Squid Game last year, I was watching like I was on this huge binge of just like watching a bunch of Korean slash Japanese like live action
Yeah,
dramas and stuff like
like
that.
Alice in Borderland.
Yeah, Alice in Borderland, Sweet Home,
Hmm.
Kingdom, a few others. My Name, right, is like another example of that.
Yeah.
There's like another show called like Sisyphus or something like that on there that I was really enjoying. But
Mm.
yeah, just a bunch of stuff, which is funny because I remember with my my ex, she like introduced me to like one, I don't even remember, but it was like some like romantic Korean drama, and like I was just not into it at all. And then like
Yeah.
fast forward like 2 years later, I'm like, oh yeah, I love this shit. So
Soaking in it. You just
pause.
hey yo, I'm getting romantic, so I don't know. No,
But
man, I hear there's this movie. If you've seen it, I haven't seen it, but I hear it's like one of the best introductions to like Korean movies. I think Train to Busan. I think
oh,
it's the name.
I haven't seen that. But yeah, I really need to see that. I don't know where because it's not on
Yeah,
Netflix. I don't know
I
if it's
think
on
it
Hulu.
is.
Nah, I've checked. Trust me, I've checked.
Really?
Yeah, it's not there.
Am I going crazy? I might be going
Maybe.
crazy. Anyways, I'll fact check that because I am curious now. But yeah, man, Korean. What? So Archer and that Korean drama. So you haven't really played this week?
Yeah, not yeah, I haven't really played anything. The book I'm reading is, dude, it's fucking fantastic. Like I always mark like in my mind I always mark the quality of a book by how fast I can get through it because I'm a really really slow reader. Like
Mm,
aside from The Witcher, which I've finished all those books in like under a year, it takes me usually like multiple months to actually finish like one single book. But this book, it's called The Pariah. Um, and it's something like over 500 pages long, and I'm like at page 274, and I started it like maybe 2 weeks ago. Um, like I can't put it down. It's like the basic premise is essentially this like orphan who gets brought in by a band of thieves, and essentially they're about to pull off this like huge plan where they're about to like overthrow this duke and his duchy. And like in they go to like this little farmstead as they're preparing the plan, and they get like all these like the major bands in the area together to form this one giant like thief army in order to like overtake the duchy. And the main character, as like they're spending the night in this farmstead, as everyone is spending the night in this farmstead, he's like hooking up with like one of the members in the guild or whatever. And
Mhm.
as like they're in bed like talking, they start hearing like the fucking like snaps of crossbows. They hear swords clashing. They hear like screaming, and the two like run out of bed, get dressed quickly, and like the whole place is like on fucking fire. Essentially, the idea is someone from within the band alerted like the duke and his armies that this thing was about to happen. So like basically he gets like fucked over, like the whole band blows up in their faces, everyone essentially gets killed. And the main character gets captured, and he gets like tossed into this like underground prison. And it's the middle part of the book is like him spending time down there and spending like 4 years down there. He has to break out. It's fucking insane, dude. It's really, really good stuff. And like the way that this guy writes, it's like it's one of those like books where I kind of like sit back and I'm like, man, you know what? I still have a really long way to go with my writing. Just like every line that this guy like just every line in general in this book, it's just like, god damn, it's incredible stuff. But yeah,
Yeah.
it's a fantastic book, man. I'm really, really enjoying it.
He
But
found a good voice, then he has a solid then, writing, style and voice, which granted, it might, you mentioned you have a long way. Maybe it's right around the corner. You have that epiphany right around the corner where you're gonna notice that, I mean, you're in the works with something. Once it releases, maybe you're the next pariah, I don't know. Hey, anything can happen,
yeah,
you know?
maybe, who knows? Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
and to that summary that you mentioned, aspects of those reminded me of two things. One, the whole burning and whatnot, and the way it all transpired reminded me of The Last Kingdom, the very first episode of The Last Kingdom,
yeah, yeah,
where that how they essentially got
yeah. Yeah, for
smoked,
sure.
and
I think the major difference is that like we spent like as opposed to that to Last Kingdom, it's like you spend like an episode, maybe not even an entire episode, but the time that you spend with those characters is so little compared to like the beginning of the Pariah. It's like over 100 pages that you get to
mm,
know each one of these members of the band that later get killed off, right? Um,
right, right,
yeah,
yeah, that's
which
the luxury of written form, which you can. And just even in just 10 pages you can create and immerse someone in a character in a way that you can't in a 30-minute episode, which
yeah.
I mean that's the power of of writing. And also in the way that everything transpired with being captured, being thrown in a dungeon and whatnot, the way it all, that reminded me of another person by the name of Griffin, and the way that everything transpired with the Band of the Hawk. And
Oh yeah,
essentially,
yeah,
once they got, essentially ambushed, betrayed, whatnot, where was Griffith? He was in a catacomb. He was there for I don't know how many years. And biggest difference, he didn't try to escape. He became he succumbed to, his fate, and very much left it in the hands of the literal hand of God.
yeah,
But
yeah, for sure.
that's
Um,
another story.
but yeah, it's a fantastic book. I can't recommend it enough. But yeah, aside from that, Dying Light 2 is around the corner. Word through the grapevine is that it's incredible, which
Hmm.
yeah,
I'm excited.
it's putting a lot of my worries to bed. Um, which again, man, like you look at that gameplay and you're like, man, how can this game be anything less than incredible? Um, but then
They
again,
were traumatized.
but then we said the same thing about Cyberpunk, so I don't blame us for having a little bit of trepidation.
Right.
But yeah, man, I could not be more excited for that game. Um,
No, for sure. And
which I
granted,
what?
to that point, real quick on being having this trepidation, the f- I think Cyberpunk and Anthem and Fallout 76, these games, it's good and bad that these games happened the way they did because it allowed us, the consumer, to have a bit more of a awareness to hype and expectations, which I think it's a healthy thing. We have to temper, which I get. Which right now we're in a good spot with Dying Light 2. We're good with the way we're approaching it and whatnot. But because it's like you said, how can it be anything less? This is a sequel, which I think is very much differs from a completely new IP that looks one way and they market it, and then it's a completely different thing. If this is that, that's the only way that they can get me with Dying Light 2. If they're like, oh, this is the game, they release it and they're like, that wasn't the game, you know? It, 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 that's the only way. That's the only way that Techland can get me. For now, I'm keeping it real and I'm excited for it, but not hyped.
That
Hype is over in my
that
mind.
this kind of touches on a question that I had for you. Um, Obviously, February is coming up, and we have basically this slew of like really potentially incredible titles coming out. How do you plan on tackling this month that's coming up? Because I see a lot of people are like already making concessions. Like, man, like I'm just not gonna have like Horizon. I'm gonna have to put on the back burner because I really want to play Elden Ring, or I really want to play Dying Light 2, and I know those games are gonna take up all my time. For me, honestly, I think I'm gonna have to put Elden Ring on the back burner. Like, I'm still gonna get it day one, but like Dying Light 2, that's a game that I feel like is going to take me a really long time to get through. And similarly
Hmm.
with Horizon, and then you have Sifu in the middle of all that. Like, and the thing is, like, you know me, and Macho knows me as well. Like, I'm a very sort of like play one game at a time kind
Hmm.
of player. So like I don't really like bouncing back
Y'all
and
thought you
forth.
can get away from me, could you?
Hey,
Oh man.
yo!
Y'all thought
Get
you could get away from me, could you? Huh?
Oh man.
this
I'm
man, the
here.
sneak.
I am the king of Kingdom Hearts and Father's Fanatic is here. How's it going, fellas? Huh?
Yo,
Great,
man, where you at in
great.
a bathroom, man? What's that quality?
Yeah, what's
What's
going
up,
on?
bro?
Yeah, man. Sounds like you're in a IHOP bathroom or something.
Waffle House. This man's in
Uh,
Waffle House.
I'm somewhere, man. I'm somewhere, but I'm here. That's the most important thing. I'm
Hey,
here. So how's
man.
it
so
going?
Hey,
so Macho, I don't know if you heard my question, but how do you plan to like tackle this month of February that has a ton of great titles coming out? Like, are you putting a game like on the back burner to focus on another one, or how are you gonna pace yourself with this month?
It's absolutely going to just be tackling Elden Ring and Horizon when they come out. Because Horizon comes out what the
yeah.
18th?
Yeah, the 18th.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm actually just going to be tackling that as soon as I get it, and then same thing with Elden Ring. But man, Dying Light 2 is looking
I
nice.
It's
told
looking
you.
mad spicy. I have a plan with these three games, and these three games specifically because they're the. Granted, I feel like I'll beat Horizon first, then I'll beat Elden Ring. Elden Ring, I hear, is a lot more complicated in terms of what you need to do, and then the amount of content there is. Granted, they said it's like 30 hours to beat the campaign, but that's not me. I'm gonna beat every optional boss, every minor boss. I'm gonna do everything in the game. Not complete it. That'll be for another time. Now, for Dying Light 2, I have a couple friends that they're gonna co-op. And I feel like Dying Light 2 is a game where I'll play when they play, or when I feel like I want to take my time with with either Horizon or Elden Ring, because Elden Ring is going to be my number one.
Yeah.
When I want to play something,
Yeah,
that's
dude.
number one. That's
Hell
number
yeah.
one. Horizon, though, Horizon is a narrative experience that I want to take my time with, because I really want to take the world in. I want to know. Now I know who Aloy is. I know what the world is. I know the foundation. Now I can take my time with it. I'm familiar. Dying Light, that's gonna be chaos. I am excited for that one. I don't know what to expect. I can't wait to scare my ass off, to run away, to loot, to raid, to do anything, man. And speaking to that, so I'm getting ready for Elden Ring. This week I beat Demon Souls finally, and I have to be 100% honest. That has been by far the easiest Souls game that I've played.
Yeah.
And
The bosses
and I mean,
the bosses are kind of a joke in that game. Like aside from like
the,
Flame Lurker, um and like I can't even say like Dragon God like by all by the definition like is not a good boss at all. He just sucks, man. He fucking sucks. um
yeah,
but
he's the most PS3 like annoying boss that you think about when you think about completing a game again, and you know that there's that one level that you think about, oh, I have to go through that again. You
Oh
know
yeah, yeah. I think about
that
Frozen every time about when I want to play Kingdom Hearts 3.
Kingdom Hearts, yeah.
Yeah, I
That's
think about Frozen
dude.
every time.
That was me with Legend of, like, for example, real quick, like Twilight Princess. Whenever I thought of the water underwater temple, I was like, oh my God, I gotta go through that again. There's just certain parts that Dragon God. So I was playing the game as a magician. I deleted that file. I started as an Imperial Knight because I my Souls approach the first playthrough is always Unga Bunga, strength, go forward, just smash him.
I never heard that before.
Yeah,
Just
you see the Unga Bunga.
Oh, gotcha,
yeah,
gotcha.
I've been watching this dude, a fighting cowboy or something, and he has a character that it's called Uga Bunga, and he is just a strength build, and that's been me always in Bloodborne and Dark Souls 3 and Demon Souls, and
Yeah,
I
I
gotta
mean,
be
you
honest,
saw me, man. I carry the big axe when we co-opt
yeah,
on
man,
Dark Souls
yeah,
3. I was just
just
mowing through stuff.
just swipe away, and to be honest, the bosses in Demon Souls. The only way that you can find them frustrating is if you get greedy, because Demon Souls is paced in a way that you have no other alternative than to take it easy to be able to succeed. Because if you rush, the mechanics are so, I wouldn't say dated, but they're clunky or slow in a way where you can be fast. You as a person can be fast, but the character will not respond the same way. I died so much in my first playthrough because I was fresh off Sekiro, and I was like, oh my God, like, why am I dying so much? But it was because I was just diving in, and I was expecting to just slash, slash, slash. Sekiro, there's no stamina. There's no stamina in Sekiro. You just slash, 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 slash. It's all about parrying. But Demon Souls, man, the hardest boss, to be honest, it wasn't even the Flame Lurker. It was maybe the Man Eater,
Yeah, it's man-eater
maybe.
for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, that was
Shout out
probably.
to Mahmood for getting into Dark Souls 3, man. That's big, man. That's
Hey,
big.
dude,
Yeah,
Um
that game is
that's a
amazing.
phenomenal game.
yeah,
Yeah, this
but
man needs to get the DLC. This man's soul here.
I hey man. Anyway. Um you will not, yeah, man. You're not gonna slander me on this podcast. um, but man, I forgot how did we even get here? Macho,
Well,
did
because
you?
we're talking about tackling our games, and then Walt started talking about
Demon
going in a
Souls.
narrative
And so
adventure
proud of beating
Horizon,
it.
and how it's his opposite to his Demon Souls playthrough, and how he's playing things. Then he talking about Demon Souls.
Those segues, baby.
Macho,
I
but
didn't even finish answering my question,
that's what I'm
Walt.
saying. That's what I'm saying.
Go ahead, Macho, go ahead.
No, I mean, yeah, I mean, I know that the kind of gamer that I am, I'm just gonna dive like headlong into and that's probably all I'm gonna be playing because I am purposely setting myself off from Horizon Zero Dawn and any kind of soul-like game so that when I actually really want to play those games, I don't feel like a sense of like, oh, I feel like I'm playing. I played it before. I just played something like this. So I want to go in kind of fresh. So like I'm in a complete media blackout. So once these games come out,
Nice.
I'm just so ready to just dive in, man.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, especially Horizon Forbidden West. Dude. I was the same with Walt. I watched the story trailer but on mute, so I caught like some characters and kind of like the really cool sequences that are going on, and that game is just looking gorgeous. So I can't wait to actually explore and actually experiment with like all the different tools she has. Like,
The
man, I
OLED,
can't
man.
wait.
I'm gonna
The
be honest.
OLED.
I'm gonna be honest. I don't think that was that good of a story trailer. Like the ending bit is really cool, but yeah, it wasn't really like I don't know. Like I think I said this last podcast. Like you look at sort of like the pantheon of like PlayStation's, like kind of famous story trailers, and like I don't know. I think about like the God of War one. I think about the
Uncharted
Uncharted
4.
4 one, right? Like
Yeah,
those,
yeah.
I watch those all the time, and they always give me chills, man. And
Specifically the one with Nadine. I love that trailer. I love it. When she enters the room and she's like meets Nathan for the first time and he's like, all
Yeah,
right, I don't know. And she
that's a
punches
good
him
one
in the
too.
face.
no,
And
no,
he's
no.
like,
So, I'm specifically talking about the ones that are just called like X game story trailer, right? PlayStation like always does that, like close
Last of Us
to,
did that as well.
yeah, they always do that close to release. But yeah,
hmm
like purely talking about those trailers, yeah. Like I thought this one was like the weakest one, but the ending was really really cool stuff. But yeah, okay, so yeah, Macho, I agree. Like, I feel like it's weird because I feel like Dying Light 2 is gonna be one of those games that like I keep coming back to, right? Like, I can easily see that one being my like 80-hour game of this year, or like my Mass Effect or Hitman of this year. So like that's probably gonna be the one that I spend like the most time with, like over the course of the year. But it's like Horizon, like I want to get through that one like as soon as possible. Because like I
Mm-hmm.
want to know like what happens. So like I'm not sure where that leaves Elden Ring. Like I feel like because Horizon, like I don't think that's gonna be a game I can finish in a week, right? Because that's all the time that we have until Elden Ring comes out. But
You
yeah, I don't know.
can. You won't enjoy it.
Yeah,
Yeah, it depends because I think what was it? Didn't like a report come out this where one of the developers said that the game was like around the same time length
yeah, and
as
then and
Zero
then
Dawn?
and then some fanboy on Twitter was like, what did he say that Horizon Forbidden West is gonna be like twice as long as the first game, or something along those lines, and it was
No,
just like
it was a mistranslation where like someone's
right,
like it's gonna be several hundred hours long.
right, right.
Oh my God.
I was just like, I don't know. I'm like, here we go
Horizon
again, man.
MMO.
Like, but yeah. So yeah. Anyway, but yeah, I was really curious
Yeah.
to see how you guys were planning to tackle these four games. I'm really hoping that Sifu isn't too long, man, because like I also really want to play that as well.
Oh
Yeah. I feel like
yeah.
Sifu is a loop game, not death loop, but not a death loop game, but
Man,
rather a
Deathloop is
game.
barely a loop game within itself, man.
No. I see Sifu as like a game where the loop in it, the gameplay loop, the whole, the dying and gathering more information, that'll be something that I would want to take my time with because I see myself getting exhausted for playing like long periods because the combat looks so engaging. I see myself getting tired from learning so many combos. Like with Returnal, I had to do it in small bursts because if I did it for long periods, I would get exhausted. So with Sifu, that's probably going to take me a bit longer than the rest in terms of what it should take. But I'm juggling. I'm gonna be juggling these just fine. I don't know. I feel like I'm not overwhelmed, and not one of them. I'm betting one of them is gonna meet the backlog. Unfortunately, I don't know which one it is, but one of them is gonna be, hey man, I'm back in June or something.
Yeah,
I don't
yeah,
know which one it is.
I
for
think
sure.
it really depends on the gameplay loop for Horizon for me.
hmm
If it's more or less structured like Zero Dawn, which really felt like just kind of dropping from place to place. And I don't know, like there needs to be a sense of cohesion. Like I need to like really be glued to my seat in order to like finish that within like a week or so if I plan on doing that.
Yeah.
But with Elden Ring, I feel like that one's gonna
I'm
get
devouring that.
really easy to get just immersed in.
Yeah,
Mm.
yeah, for
Mm.
sure. But yeah, so Walt, I want you to
Yes, sir.
let's talk about I'm assuming the big game that you played, and it's good that Macho is in here now because he can talk about it as well.
Yes.
Hmm.
I'm
Hmm.
assuming the big game that you played this week, or I guess just yesterday because it came out yesterday.
And
Pokemon
this morning.
Legends. Uh,
Yep.
tell me. I want you to tell me about it because word on the street is that it really revolutionizes the franchise and really does some interesting stuff with sort of tried and true Pokemon formula. So yeah, how's your experience been with Legends so far?
All right. First, this ain't Bandai Namco, so people should not have expected Pokemon Snap level quality. First and foremost, because
That's where
that's
you're
been the
wrong, but
biggest.
continue.
That's been that no no. When we got Shield and Sword looks ugly.
Sword and
That's
Shield?
my take. Sword and Shield looks uglier than this game. Now, first, number one, I'm not defending this game for the visuals.
Cap.
Listen, listen. What I am saying is that the Pokemon franchise has been the same for so long. The main titles have been the same for so long that what they're trying with this one, the loop that they're going with, the resource gathering, the open world approach, the hunting down Pokemon's alpha Pokemon and having to scout them out, the whole it's not by any means Monster Hunter level, of depth. You're not looking at these Pokemon for parts and using their armor or whatever. No, you're just catching these by the hundreds. Um, I'm enjoying it. I'm having fun. I like this new approach that they're doing. I by no means am saying that this is the prettiest game because it's not. I gotta be real, it's not. But that's not deterring me. That's not making me say, "Oh my God, like I cannot." Like it's not unbearable to watch. It's not an ugly game by any means. Not for me. It's not ugly.
Can I ask you
I've
one
seen
question though,
ugly.
real
Yes,
quick?
go ahead. Go
Do you
ahead.
have a gun to your head?
Oh man,
Uh,
the hesitation.
well, here's the thing. No, because here's the thing. I have with Sword and Shield. I truly felt like it was so bare bones. It felt so bare bones in contrast to Alola. The Alola games for me were to be fair,
Wait, you mean
the
Sun and
Alola
Moon?
games look prettier than Legends Arceus.
You mean Sun
The
and Moon?
Alola was that
You mean Sun and Moon? Is that
Sun and Moon? Yes, Sun and Moon. Those are
okay?
the
Okay, yeah. I had for a second I had a brain fart if that was like Sun and Moon or not.
yeah. It is Sun and Moon. Sun and Moon for me, those are some of the prettiest in the franchise in the Pokemon franchise. Um, I've played Gale of Darkness. I've played Coliseum. I know what these are capable of looking like. This is by no means what should be. It's similar. It's not similar, but it's the same vein of how people expected a bit more quality in terms of visuals with the Rockstar trilogy, but not in the same vein because this one didn't feel like they maliciously got lazy. It feels like they went for a different approach and they came off short on another department, which is the visuals department. But by no means is that bringing the game from like a seven to like a four, or from an eight to like a five. It's making it where it has better alternatives visually in even older games. I'd say Gale of Darkness looks better than Legends Arceus by many many miles.
Oh, I'd
But
say Coliseum looks better.
yeah, I mean that as well, and I do not deny that. However, the loop that they're going for, the approach that they're going for with the gameplay and the idea, behind how you catch a Pokemon here, because that's been in fantasy. You actually throw in the Pokeball and catching the Pokemon. Oh my God, it's done. It's finally been done. Whatever. I'm enjoying it for what it is. I always say for what it is, does that mean it's bad? No, it doesn't mean it's bad. You know what's a bad game? You know what's a bad game? Anthem is a bad game. Fallout 76 is a bad game. Those were bad games. But this one, it's a good game. It's not a masterpiece. It's not a dumpster fire. It's just a good Pokemon game that I frankly think it's a breath of fresh air for the franchise, to be completely honest. Does it lack visually? Yeah. Sword and Shield looked like ass as well. I truly think that game did not look like comparable to Sun and Moon. Sun and Moon was by far miles ahead in terms visually and lush and nature and how it looked just in
Color,
general.
yeah.
The colors, yeah, dude. Sword and Shield looked so pale, but that didn't stop me from putting hundreds of hours in it. I enjoy the franchise. I'm a sucker for Pokemon. I like Pokemon. I enjoy it. It's my turn off my brain and just catch away, battle, grind, whatever. Shiny hunt. I shiny hunt sometimes.
Oh yeah, you a shiny hunter.
Yeah, I don't go in like these
I think
20,000.
I think it's important.
You
I think it's
know.
important for you to for anyone who isn't specifically like a Pokemon fan. Like, what are the major changes? Like, I really want you to get into like what are the major changes that Legends is bringing to the table versus the typical like
One of the biggest changes for for this one specifically compared to the rest of the franchise,
yeah.
if they didn't take it away, but one of the biggest things is that the main franchise has always been an RPG where you have your 6 main Pokemon and you battle through gyms and you fight the what do you call it? The Elite Four. You fight the champion, you become champion, and there's an evil organization throughout the story. You beat them, there's a legendary, and that's it. That's literally been the whole formula for I guess absolutely every game except for maybe Sun and Moon, where they try to not call them gyms and it was kahunas and it was more trials and they mixed it a little bit. The biggest change that they've done is the fact that this is a literal open world game where Pokemon are in the wild. You can see them. And you can catch them from afar. You don't have to engage them like encounters, like in a JRPG, like in a Dragon Quest, or like in a Shin Megami Tensei. You actually can from afar try to capture them with a Pokeball. You can actually waste Pokeballs by throwing them, similar to how Pokemon Go. You can throw them. You have this. The Pokemon moves around. Only that this time it's in the wild. So it's like imagine the way that you capture Pokemon in Pokemon Go, but in the wild and real time. And essentially they made it where in this game, nothing is known about this region. So essentially it's like you're building up the Pokedex. The Pokedex was already set in other video games. And once you captured a Pokemon, great, you had all the details. In this one, that's not the case. If you want to know more about Bidoof, you have to capture probably Bidoof 10 more times to get another piece of information. But that's like the whole part of the story is you trying to complete this Pokedex and try to capture every Pokemon in the region, which makes it more rewarding having to capture the same Pokemon for like 20 different times, but it doesn't make it tedious. It doesn't make it where in the old game, because it was turn-based purely, you threw the Pokeball, capture one Pokemon, great, encounter the next one. No, in this one you can throw one Pokeball, and while that one's being caught, you can throw the other Pokeball, the other Pokemon. While that one's being caught, you can keep throwing, and you can keep throwing, keep capturing. It's a lot more seamless that way. It's a lot more engaging. I feel like I have a lot more fun because there's less downtime, like in the older franchise. And I think that's been one of the biggest differences. I don't know, Macho differs there.
I know. I think what you're touching on is like the major theme that I'm kind of seeing too with my fiance. When she's playing it, it really harkens on the gotta catch 'em all tagline that they've been having for like the past 20 plus years. Where instead of like becoming the very best, you're literally catching them all, and that's kind of like the thesis of like this game. It seems like. Am I right? Or
Yeah. Well.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. You
you're
okay?
the one that's playing. That's what I was asking you.
Right?
What happened? Did it cut off?
It might have,
yeah,
but I mean, from what I was seeing on when my fiance played it on the OLED, man, I just had a huge laugh. because her hair looks like a freaking wet mop.
Yeah.
From a from a Lego set or something. Yeah, the graphics are absolutely not there. I think the funniest tweet that I've seen in regards to the graphics when Gene tweeted out that the grass in Pokemon Arceus, yeah, it's giving him nostalgia of the PS2 days of the grass on the Dreamcast. And then as soon as like the game like starts, and we see like the open world landscape, and she creates her character and all this stuff.
That Breath of the Wild landscape.
The Breath of the Wild landscape, she goes like, "Wow, this looks like shit." And I couldn't stop laughing. But I really think because like the OLED panel that we have, it definitely like kind of stretches out the 1080p image a little bit. I even noticed it with Guardians of the Galaxy when I was playing that like on performance mode, and it was like a 1080p resolution. It looked a little blurry, but like going to like the quality mode, it fixed it up and actually made it look more clean, obviously. But for some reason, I think it might be like per game, it might be like how the Switch like processes like 1080p upscaling or something.
No, it looks like ass. On dock, it looks like ass.
I mean, well, the thing is like when she plays like on our old like Samsung TV, like our like 4K Samsung TV, that's not that big. It's like maybe like a 48 inch or something like that. It looks good. It looks good. You know, it looks a little cleaner. So I don't know. It could be just the OLED panel that we have too that just makes 1080p look like more blurry.
Probably.
Yeah,
I know that on the handheld, the OLED looks phenomenal, and I think that
Yeah.
the Pokemon game on OLED on the actual handheld looks. I mean, you know, night and day difference, like from the TV. Like even the colors look more vibrant.
Yeah.
Granted, this is a very pale game. That's another thing. This game is very pale. It's the colors are not very vibrant in and of itself compared to previous games, and to the point of being the one game that really I would have loved seeing that style of graphics with an approach of visuals with this game. But I had to be realistic. It was not going to happen with Pokemon Snap, because I know Pokemon Snap for me, it's the pinnacle of how Pokemon should look in a video game. It looks beautiful. It looks gorgeous. The newer one that looks like.
Yeah, like I mean, besides like resolution stuff though, yeah, the textures are god awful.
They're like watercolored.
They're really bad.
Yeah.
Not even being like kind of like a jerk about it. Like they actually look like pretty like PS2
like the grapes in Final Fantasy 14.
Exactly. Except actually
except that doesn't
like
matter.
That. Yeah, it's exactly like that. Those were patched inserts, and now they look more circular and more high quality.
No, who cares about that? If people were honestly upset about the grapes looking like goddamn
people were actually
trapezoids,
then people were actually embracing those trapezoid grapes.
Oh, okay.
But no, the graphics in Pokemon Arceus are actually like, again, it's more like the textures. They just look really bad. Like I remember one of the patches like on a coat of a professor in the game that I saw, and it was all fuzzy. And I was like, dude, where's the detail in this thing? Even like we were looking at like a wooden table inside of the house or whatever, my fiance's house in the game, and I was like, is the table made of fucking clay? Because like it just looks so blotchy and like disgusting. So,
yeah,
I don't know, man.
I don't give a fuck. I honestly like honestly I look at the visuals and I'm like, yeah,
I'm happy for you.
But I have so much fucking fun with the way enough of the same just mainline just. Yes, you have the same 6 gyms, and you have the 4 Elite Four, and then you have the champion. And dude, give me something, even something different. Like there's so much, and it was the same, and I'm not mad about it. It was so much.
I'm genuinely happy for you. I'm glad people could look past the graphics in this game to really enjoy it. That's the most important thing.
I endured. Granted, the charm is there. I endured American McGee's Alice. But it's a different charm, a different, era. It's a PS.
American McGee.
What?
He's sort of like the creative director / visionary for like the Alice platform action games.
Mm-hmm.
That's a real name.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yes,
that's his name.
yes. It's not like a Lemony Snicket or anything like that, where it's like a pseudonym for an author. Like that's his actual name, and he
That's a,
slaps on the
yeah.
front because I think it might have to do like rights issues maybe. So he
I
doesn't
think
call like
so
Alice
for
in
the first
Wonderland.
one.
He'll be like American McGee's Alice.
Okay.
So
Yeah,
yeah,
All right.
and that game plays horrendously. Granted, it's an older game. This one came 2022, and the standards are different. But I'm just like, dude, whatever. I'm having fun as long as
down
for
bad,
me.
man. You're comparing a 2022 game to a
Yeah, we.
Yeah, that's how down
2002.
bad these graphics are.
But
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 that's here's the thing.
let's. I feel like we
What?
should move on from like the looks. I feel like we've beaten that horse already. Like yeah, like I feel
Yeah,
everyone knows it doesn't look that good. But like Macho, how are you
yeah.
finding the experience so far? Have you? I'm guessing you've played or dabbled in other Pokemon games as well.
Yeah. I've actually all the starters in Pokemon Arceus. I played those respective games.
Okay. So
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 yeah,
how are you feeling like the new changes that this one brings?
it honestly makes me really excited, man. Because I'm looking at my fiance play. I'm more just like as a passerby. Like I'm more of like a backseat gamer in this sense for when I'm watching her play because I don't really have intention of playing it since I'm playing a couple other things at the moment. But from what I'm seeing, it gets me really excited because watching her like go into the environment, explore around, kind of go in stealth mode, hide in grass, and like really like study and observe Pokemon, and then throughout the it looks her imagination like
Yep.
20 plus years ago. So what
Yeah.
makes me really excited is that if they really take to heart on the criticism and like the foundational aspect, like the blueprint is there. So when they have
They refined
Arceus
this?
2,
Oh,
yeah, if
oh,
they have Arceus 2, or if they take this route with the next mainline Pokemon game, so vying away from what they usually do with like some from like Sword and Shield or whatever, and put this into the new one, then like I'm all for it. I think it's really cool, and then if they have a good foundation now, they're gonna improve on it in the next one, and I think that's the next that is the one I'm gonna be really looking forward to the most.
hell yeah, man. Because
Yeah.
I started buying Pokemon games for tradition and because I was like, oh yeah, I need to buy the new one. It wasn't because I was excited for it. It was because, oh, I just like it's a game that I played for the last 10 years every year since I first bought it. My first Pokemon game was Pearl, and it's a nice way that it all came full circle with this one being the Sinnoh region as well, being my favorite generation. Granted, this one's a bit more mixed with the starters and all that. It'd be cool, Macho, if they did they did Legends Arceus. What if they do Legends Giratina or something? Legends. I don't know, something else or a new type of approach for this. I
Yeah,
love this
I'm a
whole.
bit the opposite with you, where like I stopped buying because of tradition. Like that's more my fiance and like her brothers. That's more what they kind of do because they just
Hmm.
love Pokemon and stuff like that. I'm more the opposite. I was really like looking for that next that different kind of flavor to look forward to in the next Pokemon game. And the last one that really gave me like that satisfaction was Sun and Moon because it was so different
Hmm.
and visually and how they really did things and stuff like that. I played Sword and Shield and I liked it for what it was, but like I didn't really go back to it. I didn't even do like the end game stuff. So I was again,
Yeah,
Arceus was
man.
the one I was looking forward to. I was like, all right, it's something new, fresh, and different, and they have it there, but there's not. It's for me, it's not really all there yet. But I think the next one, for sure, hopefully.
Yeah, this definitely feels like a foundation game. It doesn't feel like it. It definitely feels like Game Freak is experimenting. It doesn't feel like, oh, they felt confident enough where, yeah, this is the new standard. It doesn't feel that way, which I'm
Nah,
glad because this
yeah,
means they're gonna hopefully go forward, with the feedback and improve. I'm excited.
yeah.
I'm
It's like
excited for this.
it's not a one hit wonder like Breath of the Wild was when it made that transition to
No,
open world. But
no.
if it's taking steps, gradual steps to it, rather, as Breath of the Wild was like one big leap. So
Yeah.
Hmm. Absolutely.
Gosh, in the chat, this is Infamous. It's a PS4 game, that I'm playing on PS5. Just to let you know. But yeah, it's really interesting because the last Pokemon game I played was God, I think Diamond was the last one I played, and it's just funny to me that like that game came out in 2007, and for all intents and purposes, it's that formula has pretty much remained the same, what, like almost 13, 14, 15 years later.
Hmm.
So yeah, it's really crazy that it's like, okay, now let's actually, change things up.
And it sells. And it's been like that the
Oh, I
past
mean,
13 years,
I
and it
mean,
keeps selling.
every Pokemon, yeah, every Pokemon game sells.
Every
This one
Pokemon, yeah.
is going to, yeah, this one's gonna sell boatloads. Yeah, it's gonna be ridiculous. But
Yeah,
yeah,
Pokemon is huge.
it definitely sounds like Game Freak has something on their hands with this one.
Hmm.
So yeah, I am. And like for the first time, it feels like we don't know like the future of Pokemon, right? Like Brilliant Diamond and
Good.
or Shining Pearl, or whatever they're called. Like those games are both out, and now Legends is out. So I would be happy if
Yeah.
Pokemon went dark for a while, man. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah,
Yeah.
so
And
that
the
is.
anime is on its 30th season or whatever.
But yeah, man, that is Legends Arceus. Very cool to see that game doing well. Um,
Yeah.
Macho, do you wanna talk about the Uncharted Legacy of Thieves collection and like uh people like at least I'm seeing like people don't seem too impressed by like the additions that were made um to both of those games. Is that kind of like what you're seeing as well?
No, actually, I'm really enjoying it.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, it's I'm actually I guess I feel like people are just kind of looking for like this. They're still looking for that next gen leap when it comes to a remaster,
And those
which doesn't make
games
sense to me.
and those games still look next gen to me, man. Like they like good lord, man. Those games.
Exactly. I feel like it's a more of a compliment that people don't really like see like a the big like huge jump that they're expecting because those games already look amazing.
Yeah.
I played about a couple of hours of Lost Legacy and Uncharted 4, both in 120 frames per second mode. And this
Jesus.
and this is where it comes into the part where I'm most impressed too, because I mentioned before how Guardians of the Galaxy running that at 1080p 60 frames, it looked blurry on my OLED. I have not had that problem with Uncharted 4 or Lost Legacy. Like it looks crystal clean, like I'm playing it like in a higher resolution.
Nice.
And I think I mean, I don't know. I mean, it could have some part of it in it have being in 120 frames per second mode because everything is more smoother and it looks and feels great. Right now, I'll say right here, it's the best Uncharted has ever felt.
Oh, I bet, dude.
And I played all the Uncharted games. I even played Uncharted 4 and Lost Legacy when they came out, more or less. And these games at 120 frames, like I can't go back to the other ones. It will feel like it's way too foreign for me if I do, just because like these games are meant to be played like these high resolution. Whether you're playing 60 frames or 120, like if I'm actually using the 3D audio speakers that you can enable on the PS5, so not the headsets, but like the actual like speaker TVs, and it's so immersive. I like there's you can't go back from it. Like I went back and forth just to see, and like it's way more immersive putting in 3D audio. The adaptive triggers are there. The whole DualSense features, the whole gambit's there, and it feels good to play. Like honestly, this feels like the best Uncharted's ever felt that I've played, and I played them all. So the fact that we got this kind of collection is awesome. Whether people feel like cheated, whether they don't, it's like not much of a
And it's ten
upgrade or
dollars
anything
though.
like
That's
that.
what I'm saying, right?
Exactly. Yeah, that's what I'm getting to as well. Like a lot of people are kind of harping on the $50 point, but like that's if like no one has ever played Uncharted, they're getting a PS5 or they just got into the PlayStation ecosystem, have not played these games.
Yeah.
Obviously they're gonna be paying that money, but even then, you can still cheat the system. I did. I didn't own Uncharted 4 or Lost Legacy, but I went to GameStop, got a used copy for $4,
Oh
and upgraded
man.
for $10.
Oh man. You can't say that publicly.
Hey man, it's allowed. It's okay. But so that's what I did, man, and then I'm enjoying this $10 upgrade for sure. Especially since I got like what you get 2 games in it. So and that's for visually enhanced games, which the most visual enhancement you'll be getting it's like 1080p and frame plate plus mode and what was it, 1440p in 60 frames per second mode, and then obviously 4K 30 in the quality mode. So you're getting 3 different modes to play through if you want to, on top of like it being tied to like 2 games and the whole 9 yards. So I feel like there's good replay value there as well. And from what I can understand, you can also transfer your save. So
Yeah,
I
yeah.
wasn't able to do that, but
Yeah. Yeah, it looks I was looking at this screenshot of just Nate and Elena sitting on the couch at the start of Uncharted 4. I'm like, God damn, dude. Like, it looks
Deeply
absolutely
cringe.
incredible.
yeah,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
it's kind of crazy. Like Naughty Dog games have always looked good. They look good since Jack and Daxter days.
Yeah.
But I think Uncharted 4 is really where they start to flex their muscle, and obviously The Last of Us 2 kind of being like the pinnacle of what they had on PS4. But yeah, this game is, both of the games are still like absolute stunners. Like I posted up some screenshots on Twitter, and I was messing around in the photo mode, and there's a scene between Chloe and Nadine on the boat, and I just went in photo mode and actually like just took everything out, like all the different filters or whatever the case may be, and the amount of detail as like on these character skins, dude. Like actually seeing the sweat drip from Chloe's
Hey, yo.
arm, like it's nuts, man. Like seeing the veins in Nadine's arms too, like the quality is bar none. And these are PS4 games, so I can't imagine what they're actually going to do on PS5. But like the upgrade is, to me, $10 and it's absolutely worth it, man. These games are still a ton of fun. Whether you're playing on PS4, but on PS5, it's like it's night and day playing 120 frames.
Yeah.
Man, I say soak once, I get blasted. This man says dripping, sweat, skin, and no one bats an eye. Golly.
Oh, man. Well,
That's because I'm
why?
trying to be serious. Well, I'm trying to be serious here.
Shut
These
the
are
hell up,
really good
Macho.
graphics.
I want to play that game. That game looks fit. Bro, those are some of the best looking games on the PS5, and them having these upgrades.
They
Come
are.
on, man. I need to play it. I
They
need to
are.
play it.
They are.
You
Yeah,
tell
no,
me you don't
it's
have 10
like
bucks, man?
it's.
What was that? What's that?
I said, you telling me you don't have 10 bucks, man?
Hey, man, I don't got my PlayStation 5 now near me, so I can't play it.
All right, all right.
So,
Yeah,
yeah,
I feel
that's
like
the
if you
reason.
have a PS5, like should definitely be on your wish list, or or like a collection you own, because it's two
A
great
must
games.
buy.
Yeah, two great games, two really fun games, and the more I'm playing through them, the more I'm just like, wow, I kind of miss the Uncharted series, man. Like the adventure and the comedy that goes on and all that kind of stuff. It's
Nah, let them do something new, man. It's
no,
time.
absolutely no. I'm not saying to bring it back. I'm just saying like I haven't played it since.
Yeah, you miss the characters.
Yeah, more or less. Yeah,
Gotcha,
like I miss
gotcha.
like these character interactions and stuff like
Yeah.
that. And they're a lot of fun to be around. So like I'm happy like I could actually play it. And so
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it's like revisiting the Phantom Thieves, man. You just go back and check your
true,
prints out.
true.
You know?
Yeah, but yeah,
Nice.
that's great to hear, man. I I don't know. I don't. Maybe someday, but myself going back to these days. But everything that you just said, Macho, is definitely like tempting me for sure. Um,
Yeah, I mean, I would say Lost Legacy for sure because that one's like the more refined one.
how
But
do you
yeah, I
how
mean,
do you where do you fall on that argument? Do you think Lost Legacy is better than four?
I don't know, man. That's why I'm replaying them to kind of like see what opinion I have on that. Just because I really liked Lost Legacy, but like I'm not the biggest fan of Chloe or Nadine.
Whoa,
So,
Damn.
but the thing is, again, who knows? My opinion could probably sway on that once I replay these.
I might have
But
to
I
kick you
really
out the podcast for that transgression.
listen. I love them. I love them. But yeah,
Hmm.
I say that camaraderie between Sully, Nathan, and then the new addition of
So,
Nathan's brother too. I think it's, I don't know. There's something really cool, like a final epic adventure about it that I really like. But I will
Yeah.
say that Uncharted 4 is like definitely the weirdest pacing one for sure.
Yeah, because it's
Um,
like when I look at that, like I only played through Uncharted 4 the one time in 2016. Like I don't think there like maybe aside from like Assassin's Creed 3, I don't think there was another game that I've been like that hyped for than Uncharted 4. And like when I look at that game, um it does have moments where, like, when I ever even entertain the idea of wanting to play it again, I think to myself, ooh, but there's that Scotland area that I really didn't like going through, right? Like there was a bunch of like small like or not even small, but like chunks of like chapters that were in like it felt like a slog to go through at times.
Yep.
So and obviously Lost Legacy being the length that it is doesn't it removes the fat, so to speak. So yeah,
Yeah, exactly.
that's probably one of the biggest reasons why I haven't returned to Uncharted 4. But like what I do remember of like both of those games is that like yeah, I enjoyed Lost Legacy, but without a doubt, like Uncharted 4's story, in my opinion, blows Lost Legacy like out of the water.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was trying to explain before. Yeah, I think the story for 4 is absolutely there. But yeah, when it came to like story pacing, like I was reminding myself last night where just starting the game, right? You have this really cool boat chase sequence that's very action heavy or action movie like, and then you jump to Nathan in the orphanage,
Yeah.
and that's like a 30-minute sequence of just scouring buildings with Nathan's brother. And then you jump to what was it? After that, you jump to oh yeah, the prison
The prison,
sequence.
yeah.
Yeah, you jump to the prison sequence. That's like a good like hour.
Yeah.
You know, and I'd say that hour was boring, but like still like there's parts of it that were definitely a little slow. And then that's when the title sequence happens. So like yeah, like 3 hours in, that's when you actually get the title sequence. So it's a little weird pacing. I feel like a lot of like my like kind of not issues but like qualms with it are kind of in the same vein what I had with The Last of Us 2, where story like moments like flashbacks or something like that, it just felt a little weird, like or a little too long. I don't know.
Yeah, but how good is that intro sequence?
Oh, it's really good.
Yeah.
It's really good.
That game
It's really
that
good.
game
It's really I like
as
I love that prison I love the prison, like the entire prison gameplay, and then it leads into like the title sequence, and then the theme starts playing. I'm like, ah, man, this is it. This is the final adventure. Look, I love it, man.
yeah.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. This game does a fantastic job at what it does and being the conclusion to such a overarching story and the themes and Nathan's journey and how everything just comes full circle and explaining his origins and the orphanage. That sequence with Sam where you have to escape the orphanage. Uh, it's a or monastery. I love that. Both games I treat very differently because Uncharted Lost Legacy, it's like it learned from Uncharted 4, and like you said, so it cut all the fat out and it only did the juicy parts, the very like the open world section, the open area section where you explore, you do little collectibles, you do little takeovers of areas. You have action sequence that, quite frankly, I think are some of the best in the series, even compared to Uncharted 4. I think that the full last sequence of Uncharted Lost Legacy, I had a lot more. It was a lot more. How do you call it? It felt more of a finale than the Uncharted 4 one, but the Uncharted 4 one felt more of a Nathan's finale than it did a big game finale. If that makes any sense. You know what
Yeah.
I mean?
Yeah.
Um,
Guys, we gotta we gotta cut the podcast a little short, cause are you guys looking at the podcast right now?
yes. What
Yeah.
happened?
Uh,
Oh wow. Okay.
yeah, yeah.
Did you get a winter storm where you're at?
Maybe the audio should be still it's still good, but yeah, in terms of what's actually happening on screen, yeah, that's just not gonna happen today apparently. This happened to us when we were playing like when I was playing Ratchet and Clank one time on the podcast, but yeah, we are definitely having some some issues, some technical issues, man. But yeah, we could cut the podcast here. I feel like we talked about like all the major things that we wanted to talk about.
Oh wait. Matt props. Horizon. It went gold. Yay!
Yes, yes, Horizon went gold. I I feel like there, like, what discussion is there to have with Horizon other than that, than saying that
It's
it went gold.
celebration. Just celebrating. Yay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Uh,
pretty much. We just
Also,
know we're gonna get it on
Absolutely.
February 18th, which is the best part.
yes,
Yes.
exactly,
And
exactly.
quick thing, y'all. I picked up RCS right now to play, and I'm looking at it from a cliff to the horizon for the first time in the game. I hadn't done this.
Yeah,
Yes, Sammy.
yeah.
It does look like shit.
Um, but yeah, let's get let's get started with these outros. Macho, thanks for joining. Where let the people know where they can find you and what do you got going on this week?
Yeah, man. I'm going to see if I can stream a little bit of Uncharted today or tomorrow. So stay tuned to the channel for that. We'll just kind of break down the game and discuss if whoever wants to join in and have some fun. Weather permitting, because I do have a snowstorm here in New York, so we'll see how the internet goes with that. But yeah, man, just really gonna be playing through the games I've been playing this past week. So 13 Sentinels, Trails in the Sky, Legend of Heroes, and a little bit of Uncharted, man. Just having some fun there. I think that's it. Yeah, I think it's perfect timing because I was actually on break and now I have to go back. So
Perfect,
It's a
perfect.
long ass break, my guy.
it's an hour break, man.
Nice.
Hey.
Walt, what about you, man?
Hey man, gonna be grinding away this Arceus, man. Just doing that. Gonna be playing a couple other Switch games because I'm out of town, so I'll be mainly on my Switch, of course, doing that, and I probably will be chipping away at what do you call it? Oh my God, SMT5, more of that because it's a long one. Uh, but yeah, man, chipping away at two, I guess RPG. Yeah, this is an RPG. Yeah, it is. Sure, whatever. Uh, yeah, man, that'll be me, and just chilling
Cool,
with the family. What about you, Soul?
cool. Yeah, not much on my end. Probably just finish off a couple shows before, and then Dying Light's around the corner, so really get to focus on that when it does.
That's
Um,
Wednesday, right?
I think so.
The
Um,
second?
no. The fourth, so Friday or
Oh,
something.
Friday.
Friday.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Um,
Cool. Then we can probably talk about that next week then.
yeah, for sure.
Hey,
But yeah, aside from that, guys, we apologize for the technical issues. It will be resolved for next week. And yeah, if you guys enjoyed the podcast, aside from this ending bit, like, comment, and subscribe. That would greatly help us out. And thank you for everyone who did tune in. It was really cool seeing, like, at one point there was like 8 people watching live with us. So that was really really cool to see. But yeah, we will catch you guys next week for our 47th episode. And yeah, have a good one. Peace.